you're so sad? You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the National Racing Network and our live coverage of the U.S. Open Wheel C Championship, the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, whatever it is we're supposed to be calling it. My name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with us tonight. We appreciate it. And, well, quite frankly, we are looking forward to a barn burner here tonight. Tell you a little bit about the racetrack. Located in Leeds, Alabama, 2.38 miles, 3.83 if you're over there on the metric system. An FIA Grade 2 circuit where the track record is held by Pato Award, set in 2021, driving one of the Indy cars. BarberMotorsports.com for all the information on tickets and all that kind of fun stuff. As everybody's getting out onto the racetrack for their qualification laps, we'll pull up the, give you a little bit of a look there at the stats and info on this Indy Pro 2000 car, manufactured by Tatus. And we'll pick up, let's see. We'll grab the 2 of David Porcelli as he is out on the racetrack right now. Air temperature 64 degrees, 119 degree track temperature, 66 Celsius. For those of you, again, using the funny maths on this stuff. Let's get the qualifying ticker up here on the screen. It'll show you the top 8 as their laps come in. 14 and 13 on the splits here tonight. 27 cars in total on the entry list. As always, shoot us a comment. Let us know where you're watching from. If you feel like contributing via any of the super chats and the stars and all that kind of stuff, we greatly appreciate it. If you want to buy me a beer or something here, we'll take it after this week. David Porcelli making his way around on lap number 1. Take a look at the season stats on David. 15 starts in this car, 6 wins, 13 top 5s. 4 poles thus far on the season as well, averaging 23.5 points per race. An impressive run thus far. Another guy who is having an absolutely banner year, Ted Burns. 19 starts, 15 wins. All 19 are in the top 5. 15 poles. He's averaging 33 points a race. Just ridiculous, the kind of math that Teddy B is putting up this season. Another guy that has been very good this season, Carter Lundy. 34 starts, 19 wins, 31 top 5s. And the laps are coming in. Lundy going to be quickest, top of the board, 1 minute 16.620. Nicholas Daly second, Mike Collar down there to 4th as David Porcelli now comes around second. 69 thousandths, a very nice number to be back, but still a little bit back of Carter Lundy. Going to be Crane, Daly, and Holler rounding out the top 5. Keep your eye on Adam Crane, a name that we're not completely familiar with. Yes, seeing the comment, I think Celsius and Fahrenheit are swapped there. Jason, thank you. Growing pains with the new graphics. Let us know what you think, by the way. New graphics package, new look for the NRN shows. They are still a little bit of a work in progress, but I think they look pretty darn good. Let us know what your thoughts on them are. Following along with Carter Lundy here on lap number 2. He'll come down over the start-finish line. New quick time, 107.152 miles per hour on the lap time for Carter Lundy. That's impressive. Pick up, let's see, Adam Crane goes P2. Great lap there for Crane in the number 4 machine. They got a VRS scheme on the side of that one. Let's pick up Ted Burns as he's coming around to complete his second lap. Burns 4th on the grid as it stands right now. Can he move up the charts? The lap time is better, but the position does not improve. 1 minute 16.654. Get a look at, let's see, Richard Holt still out here on the racetrack. Last time these cars ran, there was contact between Carter Lundy and David Porcelli. Took both out of contention for the win. Richard Holt getting the win. And I forget who he was racing in that one. Lindy? No, wasn't Lundy. Oh, we'll find it. Yeah, Hundley, sorry. Holt and Hundley absolutely throwing haymakers at each other. Great battle there. Down to the final 2.5 minutes here in qualifications. Let's pick up. Look, well, there we go. Qualifications are done. And it's going to be Carter Lundy on the pole as Stephen C. Thompson was up there working his qualification run. Now it is time for us to go racing here. Let's take a look, and we'll get the grid cameras fired up for you. And what the heck, let's show you the starting grid. Carter Lundy lining up alongside Adam Crane, 107.1518 miles per hour. Almost 2/10 back was Crane. That was a heater of a lap for Carter Lundy. Row number 2, we'll have David Porcelli and Ted Burns. Row 3, Nicholas Daly, and a spectacular qualifying run for Mike Holler. Farthest we've seen him up in the field in one of these strength of field broadcast races this season. Row number 4, Nagisa Yoshikawa and Richard Holt. Row number 5, Rod Eskew and Cody Hundley. Hundley had the battle with Holt in the last race. Man, that was a good one. I hope we get more of that. Brian LaBarge and Stephen C. Thompson going to line up on row number 11. To the moon with Mr. LaBarge. And on row number 7 will be Frank Wynn, 104.6 miles per hour, the lap time for Frank. Carl Lemkool does not get a lap in qualifications. He will start from the rear of the field. Waiting on David Porcelli and Nagisa Yoshikawa to get out onto the grid. Let's see. Let's get the comment up here real quick. Jason Owens saying, looks stellar on the 85-inch in the basement. That's beautiful. Glad it looks good for you guys. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, quite frankly, have gone into this. A little bit of a rebrand for us here as the cars start to roll away. We hope you enjoy the show and you don't want to miss it because, well, we'll drop the news now. The first, because we are in week 9, I think. Are we in week 9? Somebody confirm that for me in the comments. If we're in week 9, we'll get you the first piece of information on what's coming up for next season here on the National Racing Network. And man, are we excited about this one. Get you the ticker up across the top of the screen so you can see where your favorites are running. may have James Watson in the booth with me here for this one tonight. Otherwise, it'll be a solo show for this one. James in the middle of league racing as we speak here, as the field works the formation lap behind the official iRacing safety. Oh, man. Almost got shenanigans on the start here. Crane getting off the throttle onto the binders a little bit. Ted B. Good Lord, that was tight through there. Down through the corkscrew, one of the more difficult places on this Barber Motorsports Park circuit. Let's see, I think this is only week 8. I could be wrong. Yeah, this is week 8. So, no freebies for you guys. Next week, we'll make the first of our announcements and new content coming out. This is one of those places coming out of this corner, you can really start to set up the pass to turn 1. And the reason I say that is, you crest the hill, you come down, you're going to swing back uphill, but you absolutely have to get this one spot on or you're going to have big, big problems. Field making their way through, and as always, race fans, the start of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship is going to be all yours. Carter Luddy jumping out to the early lead. David Porcelli, Ted Burns going into battle. That's for the 3rd and 4th position. Everybody looks good. Only a couple of passes on that first lap as well. Hundley passing Rod Eskew for 9th. Carl Lemkool coming around Frank Wynn for the 13th position. Oh, trouble back in the pack. Stephen C. Thompson may be off the race course. He is. Carl Lemkool has to take the tow. Oh, we've got trouble for David Porcelli. Trouble for Porcelli. Get you the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Oh my goodness. Final corner just about binned. It does a great job to keep it off the walls and back on the racetrack, but David Porcelli back to the 11th position. Battle for the race lead, sitting at right about a half second here. It's going to be something similar. Here, the battle for 2nd to 3rd as well, about 0.6 of a second between Adam Crane and Ted Burns. In fact, the entire front of the field. Kind of getting themselves all spaced out here. David Porcelli 6 and change seconds back as they run now. And we're going Rick Allen early on this one. Championship implications. The broadcast championship standings. The Indy Pro Championship being led by Ted Burns with a 25-point lead over David Porcelli. Excuse me, another 5 to Carter Lundy in 3rd. As Teddy B goes new fastest lap of the race. The combined championship is significantly closer, though. Getting the numbers pulled up on this one because they are so good. Ted Burns with an 8-point lead over Carter Lundy entering tonight's race. It's another 36 back, 44 total to David Porcelli in 3rd. So definitely a two-horse race here, but this is where a guy like Adam Crane can step in and really kind of wreak havoc a little bit. Let's pick up David Porcelli, follow his charge back through the field, trying to work his way around Brian Labarge. Porcelli ran as high as third. Great fast lap, too. 1 minute 17.470. Not far off of where the leaders were running. Back to the head of the line. Adam Crane goes new fastest lap, 106.740 miles per hour. Crane is quick, and he's going to have to figure out how to get the draft to get caught up to Carter Lundy. He's closing the gap, and a great entry there into the hairpin. Let's see, yeah, Lundy not able to hit. Hey, Lundy kind of went in a little bit wide, trying to arc it, almost like we saw last week at Long Beach. But that definitely allowed Crane to make up a little bit of the gap. It's now down to 0.4 of a second. He shaved 0.2 off over the last lap and a half. Look a little bit deeper in the field here. Pick up Nagisio Shikawa going to work on Mike Holler. That gap's sitting at about, well, now 0.2. How about we just call it a half a car length as they come out of 15. Great complex of corners there for Nagisio Shikawa. Mike Holler tried to break the draft a little bit, but no dice. Yoshikawa will be there into turn number 1. The lead's still sitting at about 0.4 of a second. So we'll stick with the good battles back here. This is the fight for 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Things getting good at the front of the field. Carter Lundy having Adam Crane only about 0.2 of a second back now. So they're going to get ready to put lap number 6 up on the scoreboard. We'll take a look. I don't even know that we have any data on Adam Crane. Yeah, we got nothing. One of the first starts of the season for that car. Actually, it is the first start of the season. Total of, I believe, 1,700 drivers have competed in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship to this point on iRacing. Is Lundy going to try to block that inside lane? Here comes Crane looking outside. It's just not going to be there. Big oversteer on corner exit. That's going to buy Lundy about a half second and bring Ted Burns right back into the equation. No average finish here on Adam Crane, but a 471A license and a 5886 I rating. He's the weakest of the top 3 drivers, if you can believe that math. 61.43 for Carter Lundy, 65.30 for Ted Burns. Trouble on the racetrack for Brian Labarge. Let's pick up the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Labarge a little bit off track. Oh, not much of an issue. Nice save, Mr.
That's just a typical
Labarge.
Barber spin.
Ah, Watson's here. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just got it into the booth. long way around this this Alabama circuit, trying to avoid all the creepy crawly statue.
Yes. You've missed a pretty good one thus far, James. Top 3 are checking out. David Porcelli having some early issues. Let's pick him up here as he is, well, he's not close to the leaders, but he's got a whole freight train of cars in front of him. The only issue is I wonder if he doesn't have some damage from his off-track excursions. We'll see. Front wing looks okay there.
Yeah, I couldn't see anything on that look. I really don't know if I see anything out of sorts.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, that's a much better look. So everything looks
Yeah,
good car-wise for
clean.
Porcelli. Just got out
just
wide at the final corner.
Yeah, it's just this track is a nightmare to pass. It's a great track to drive on. It's a great track to race on if you only have 2 wheels, but it can be a bit of a pain when you're running anything with 4 wheels. If you make an overtake here, you earned it. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's one that I'm big on. I like the technical racetrack that you have to try to force a mistake out of somebody. That we're not seeing a ton of it here because even Porcelli is not able to make up a ton of ground. He's getting up underneath the Cody Hundley, but it's just the outright pace isn't there to take the shot. Right as I say that, though, Nagicio Shikawa having the look on Mike Holland. This is going to be gutsy. Yeah, he gets back in line.
Yeah, you can't go too wide there, although for entertainment purposes it would have been great to watch. Ooh, David sending it.
Oh, then he backs out of it.
Honestly, right here into turn 1, this is going to be one of your best bets to pass.
If you can use the draft effectively, we saw Carter Lundy trying to use it in the USF car, and it just seemed like there wasn't enough horsepower. What's interesting is I'm getting the same feeling here. The draft is there, you can get the toe. It's just not enough, almost like the straightaway isn't long enough.
Ooh,
it's just a hair. Oh, what a move by Porcelli inside in the horseshoe.
Side by side, can he pull him? Oh, this is going to be a pissing contest coming down into here.
I say this is where Hundley's going to have the spot. Oh, look at that. Hundley backs off.
Yeah.
Probably pretty wisely, so, yeah.
Yep.
Back to the head of the line. Carter Lundy, Adam Crane. Back to within about 2/10 of each other as we approach the halfway point. Oh, hold up. Let's get back here. Nagicio Shikawa having a little bit of an off track. He's back on the race course, but Porcelli has come around. Hundley comes around. Yoshikawa going to have some work to do here.
Man, side by side for side by side for an entire third of a lap. That's epic.
Yes, please. We were having this discussion a little bit earlier off air. I don't know why more people don't run Barber. It's a fantastic racetrack. Yeah, it can be a little difficult to pass on, but I just don't get the unpopularity of it.
The biggest problem with this track is it's really hard to learn. There's a lot of blind corners. Like this section right here, I struggle to get through it. Like the amount of times that I just eat the car right off because I cannot turn in at the right time, either too early or too late. I just throw the car off into the grass. Oh God, like David almost did. So it's not very user-friendly for those trying to get up to speed on it. Yeah, that's...
See Porcelli having a little off track, and basically the entry you saw there into the final corner, next to last corner, that's how he got off track right at the very beginning of the race. Porcelli's had, I mean, he had a very good run, but was running as high as 3rd, got as far back as 11th, now back up to the 7th position. Best lap time of 1 minute 16.9. It's not that far off of what your leaders are doing. And this is fun to watch because Adam Crane is a name that you're not familiar with. If you're Carter Lundy and Ted Burns, you almost, I mean, the guy's good. Don't get me wrong, but you don't see him every week. You got to give a little feel.
If you're within the bubble, our little bubble of the USF and Indy Pro, it's not going to be a household name. If you have any sort of familiarity with the redacted car world, you know who Adam Crane is. You are very familiar with that name. It's a name that makes eyes open when you see him in the entry list. So I'm sure with all the different things that Carter does, he's come across him. I'm sure Ted has definitely come across Adam. So yeah, it's cool to see someone as well known and talented as Adam Crane hop into our little series here for a spell.
And I was laughing right before you got in the booth, because Crane is the lowest of the rated drivers among the top 3. Lundy and Burns are both over 6,000. Crane only at a 58 something monstrous.
Yeah, and that's insane because he can put a whooping on pretty much anyone in the redacted car.
The redacted car.
I can speak that as someone who's been lapped by Adam Crane multiple times in one race.
I think for that one, just James, we'll throw you a bone here and get you this one up in the interview. Crane, he's good in redacted cars.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, we're bringing out all the new toys here tonight. So we're down to 6 of 19 laps remaining. Let's take a look at the comments here. You're getting a shout out from Jason Owens here. Watson arriving in the booth at the exact moment LaBarge attempts a Watt spin is chef's kiss comedic timing. Yeah, we'll give you that. Yes, all the comments coming in. Everything is redacted at this point.
I love the internet.
Oh, hold on to it. Wow. Carter Lundy, big wiggle out of 15. 16, whatever the next to last corner is.
And it worked for him because he looked like he eked out a little bit of an extra gap.
Yeah, he opened it up a little, actually, which is... Usually that's not the quick way to get around, is half sideways, but...
Out of control is fast, everybody.
Yes. Going full Cole Trickle here. Loose is fast and on the edge of out of control. Your battle amongst the top 3 is good. Everybody else, with the exception of this battle back here, Mike Holler, Richard Holt, David Porcelli. Everybody else is pretty well spaced out from each other. Jason Owens says $5. Porcelli finishes 6th or better.
I'm going to assume he posted that before David may come a few of the moves, otherwise just seriously not impressive.
Yes, no, he said that about 15 minutes ago. New fastest lap to Adam Crane, 106.970 miles per hour. Crane's moving, but he just cannot get the move done here on Carter Lundy at the head of the field. David Porcelli, at this point, looks like he's getting a little frustrated. We talked with him, gosh, I guess it was, well, no, okay, no spoilers. We'll say it that way. Great race coming up for the USF 2000s, by the way. You don't want to miss that one. This battle here is a good one. 0.2 of a second between Mike Holler and Richard Holt. Oh, man. Holt with a big bizzle on Porcelli. That's getting after it.
Yeah, I want to give some props in this battle, but every time I say good things about him, bad things happen, so I'm just going to stay silent.
Yes, that's a good idea. At least don't name any specific drivers. Oh, Porcelli going to have the dive into one, though. Holt's going to have the line through two. And they're going to have to get single file. And they do. Porcelli just not able to get the pass completed. At the head of the field, well, I was about to say, Carter Lundy's gone. It's up to 0.75 of a second now. The gap between Lundy and Adam Crane, and it's another 0.3 or so back to Ted Burns in third. This is by far the closest battle on the racetrack right now in the fight for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Man, Porcelli and Holt are both so good through that complex of corners. Oh, here comes Holt. He's going to have a shot. 3 wide. Oh, my goodness. What a move by Holt. Porcelli's going to try to go 2 for 1. Wow. Blue light special for David Porcelli.
Man, Mikey was like, nope, I want no part of this. Nope.
Oh, man, almost a little contact there with Holt. And now that's bringing everybody back into this, too.
Oh,
Cody Hundley's going to be there. Nagisa Yoshikawa's there.
I don't think Cody and Michael could have been any closer without carbon fiber flying.
Wow, they're going to do it again into the hairpin.
Oh, there's a send.
Holler's big send.
Oh, and a big wiggle. If he doesn't wiggle, he might pull that move off. Oh, no.
Oh, they're in the grass.
Oh, no. Oh, this is not going to end well. How did they survive?
I have no idea how they just put all 4 of those race cars through there. No more eating ice cream there, Mr. Owens.
Wow.
That was incredible. David Porcelli back inside the top 5.
David's just watching that go on in his mirror like, thank God I'm out of that.
Jason, if you call the bet there, I'll put the $5 towards your Extra Life account at the end of this one, by the way. Make sure I have the link for that, if you could DM that to me. I'll take that bet. Just for the move that David Porcelli made, oh my goodness, that was incredible. Holler going to try to go the hard way around Nagisa Yoshikawa. Yeah, I got to agree with you here, Jason. That's an iRacing top 10 moment, and you can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah.
Yes. Clip the broadcast off that 85-inch television.
Oh only 85-inch television? Is he watching from the one he has in his bathroom?
Oh my God, white flag is out, 1 lap to go. There's Carter Lundy, and he gone 1.4 seconds. Adam Crane battling Nicholas Daly. Ted Burns able to come around. Crane's going to hold on to the spot. Let's show you the replay here quickly. See what happened to Adam Crane. Oh, he looped it.
How did he not destroy it?
I don't know. That was impressive.
Yeah, well, that shows how difficult this track is. If Adam Crane can do that, imagine how much a scrub like me struggles.
Cody Hundley, Mike Holler, both having off tracks. Keeping it on the racing surface. Oh my goodness. So good. Out of the final corner, twin checkers in the air. Carter Lundy going to pick up a big win here at Barber. Now we got to come back here to the rest of this battle.
Oh, there it,
oh! Keep leaning on each other. Oh, he hip checked him.
Oh my God.
And I think, let's see, at the line,
you got him.
Eskew got around Mike Holler. Wow.
Slugfest doesn't begin to describe that one. Sheesh.
Yeah, that's putting it kind of mildly. Holy cow. So let's take a look here at your race results while Carter Lundy is making his way around here. Not yet, actually. Waiting on a couple of cars here to get their laps in. So we'll go back to showing you the race winner graphics here for Carter Lundy. Now we can show you the race results. Lundy by 9/10 of a second over Ted Burns. Adam Crane going to come home third. Nicholas Daly, David Porcelli rounding out the top 5. Holt, Yoshikawa, Hundley, Eskew, and Holler the top 10. And my God, was that battle good. Rest of the field going to be Stephen C. Thompson, Brian Labarge, Frank Wynn, and Carl Lemkool back for the 14th starters. As we wait for Carter to come around and everybody to get themselves into the interview room, get the comment in here from 90210 on Twitch. So as per the RLL announcement, Legg or TK? Man, I would love to see Catherine Legg get a shot in great equipment at the Speedway. She never had a true shot in great equipment. Hard to bet against TK at the Speedway, though. Dude is just so good there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's take a look. I don't think we're going to be able to talk to Adam Crane tonight, unfortunately. Just because I don't think he's in the Discord that we do all of these communications through. But let's bring in our runner-up here this evening. Mr. Ted Burns, a fantastic night for you here, Ted. Congratulations on it. And, man, talk us through the night, because it was a whole lot of chasing going on for you.
Yeah, I think we were just slightly off pace. I mean, it was like half a tenth in qualifying could have put me at, outside pole. So that was really hope I'm not going to hit the grass, because it's so easy to do there in this car, especially when you're falling behind someone. So I hoped he'd lock the brakes down, slide off to the right. He did, so that was lucky. He didn't get too scared because I had a nice little buffer to him. But I was just that was at the back of my mind the entire race. Like don't go off in the final corner, because I knew it could end pretty badly. So. Happy to avoid that and remain mistake-free.
Yeah, and it's big for the broadcast championship points as well here because you had an 8-point lead. I think it's only going to shrink by 3, either 3 or 5 is what it's going to shrink by. All in all, not a bad night here. Congratulations on the podium finish. And before we let you go, do all those sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, for sure. Got to thank Downforce Racing. We had a really consistent car tonight, so it was a real pleasure to drive. Got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. It was a bum to miss it last week at Long Beach. It was a lot of fun watching along. But happy to be back out here mixing it up again. And thanks everyone for coming out and racing in the series, making this awesome.
Hello there.
Let's talk to our race winner here. Guy who was good all night long, had the car basically exactly where it needed to be. Man, congratulations, Carter. A big, big win for you here tonight.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, it is an important win, I'd say, because the championship after this race now is 12 points between me and Ted. He's 12 points ahead in the Indy Pro. So this is one of the things I needed to focus on for this week, was getting points in the Indy Pro, and well, the win last week helped as well, and we brought the gap down massively. But 3 rounds to go. He has a 12-point lead, so I'm just trying to do as best as I can on the road tracks before we hit USA.
Yeah, this is there's quite a lot to unpack here because you guys are putting on a great battle in the official championship as well. You're a handful back. I'll say it's a couple hundred points, but that's eminently make upable, especially if Ted has to have some drop weeks come into play. And if you're able to pick some more SOF wins up, that gap can close quickly. Plus, we have the broadcast championship standings, which quite frankly couldn't be any tighter after this week. So there's a whole lot going on there points racing wise. Man, congratulations. This win was big for you on all of those fronts. And before we let you go, do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous too.
Yeah, thanks for the stream. Thanks for the broadcast. Everybody at National Racing Network who are putting it on each week. Looking forward to watching this one back on stream. And well, one thing that I guess I should have been thanking for this season that I didn't think of was well, Team Watson Racing and Nagisa for providing the Indy Pro setups. It's a hell of a lot better than trying to spend all week trying to make one for myself. So yeah, Nagisa sets are pretty good, and thanks to him for the setups each week. Thanks for the broadcast and simracingcenter.com, and that's it.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And man alive, I don't know who the extra name is here in the chat.
That is the man himself, Mr. Adam Crane.
Oh, well, there we go. Then let's bring him up into the booth here. Let's bring in our third place finisher tonight, Mr. Adam Crane. And man, I'll tell you what, you went full pucker factor Zulu off the final corner and still brought home a podium. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks so much. It was a pretty interesting last few laps there, just with me trying to push to catch up to Carter. Props to him on the result. Outstanding qualifying pace, and then in the race, he had just enough just enough in the right places is probably the best way to describe it. Because I'd catch him in a couple places, but it wasn't enough to overcome how equal we were in others. So big props to him on the win. And yeah, that was an interesting final corner there coming to the white, but I'll take P3 for sure.
Not a bad run. I got to ask you, the first time we've seen you in this car, but obviously, if you're a fan of the open wheel stuff on iRacing, everybody knows who you are. What inspired you to get in the Indy Pro tonight at Barber, of all places? It seems like this is a place nobody wants to run.
Yeah, honestly, it's surprising to me that Barber is so maligned, or at least unknown, with a lot of the community on iRacing. I honestly think that it's one of the best tracks on the service, and have said for several years that the IndyCar on Barber is one of the best combinations in sim racing. It's just fantastic. I love Barber the track, so when I saw it was on the Indy Pro 2000 schedule, I sort of hummed and hawed about whether or not I wanted to run it. And a buddy of mine, Mobin Khan, as well as David Porcelli, my teammate, running the series. So thought about it, did some practice with them, and ended up deciding I'd run it. Carter Lundy also actually was an opponent that we recently had when we competed in the Daytona 24-hour. He was running with some of the F1 esports guys, and so I was hoping I could exact a little bit of revenge from us finishing P2 to his team, but P3 still is pretty good.
Well, I'll tell you what. Thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here. Hopefully, we get to see a little bit more because the car is fun, and we hit some interesting road courses, and the oval weeks are, well, chaos. But thank you much. We appreciate you hanging out with us here. And before we let you go, do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, thanks so much to everyone at Satellite Racing, VRS, Nemesis Lab, LS Engineering. Thanks you guys for hosting this broadcast. I know us having lost the IndyCar broadcast is a real tough pill to swallow. So at least some in the Indy Road or Indy Ladder getting some broadcast and some love on these broadcasts is really important, and I know that the communities really appreciate it. So thanks to you guys, and yeah, hi Mom.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking with us. Got to give Mom the shout out, especially right before Valentine's Day. Always give Mom the shout out. But with that, man, tell you what, James, you came in at the right time. We got a hell of a show. This one was fun, just all around fun.
Oh my god, it was absolutely incredible. Like this, because I remember the last time we were here, it was a bit of a snoozer. Yeah, this was anything but.
Yeah, that it seems like that's kind of the way the Barber races go sometimes. They're either really good or really kind of, it was okay. This one was a good one. We definitely got the action we wanted to see, courtesy of David Porcelli. Quite frankly, just pile driving his way through the field in a good way. Not running anybody over, but just really hard running. Great show there. And now, James, you can answer this question for me. Is it week 8 or is it week 9?
We are in week 9.
We are in week 9. Damn it, let's make the announcement. The first of the new content pieces, well, it's a returning piece of content. Silver Crown Cup Racing will be back on the NRN airwaves for their Monday night SOF races beginning 2023 Season 2. I can't wait. I love the Silver Crowns. We're going all out this year. If you want your league on our airwaves, the pricing is really pretty reasonable comparatively. Give us a shout. Check us out on all the socials. We're at National Racing Network just about everywhere. But with that, time for us to get the heck... Well, no, we're not getting out of here. We got another race broadcast to show. But the USF 2000 race, don't go anywhere. Oh, my God, was that one good, too. But with that, time for me to get the graphics and everything queued up here. With that, we'll be back. The USF 2000 race coming up here in just a minute, right here on the National Racing Network.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. More National Racing Network live coverage of the U.S. Open Wheel D Series Championship. This time coming to you from... I'll get the graphics pulled up anyway here. Barber Motorsports Park. Let's tell you a little bit about the places. Qualifications are ongoing. Located in Leeds, Alabama, 2.38 miles, 3.83. For those of you on the metric system, it's an FIA Grade 2 circuit where the track record is held by one Mr. Pato O'Ward. These are the same identical Tattoos chassis as we see in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, just 100 horsepower less. These cars only making 175 horse at the wheels. Looking forward to a big night of racing here. Let's get the timing screen up here for you. It'll give you the top 8 as those laps come in. 14 will be in this split. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the qualifying session. New look, new feel to the broadcast here for you tonight. We debut these. You've seen them already a little bit, but let us know what your thoughts are in the comments. See if you like how the show looks here as Carter Lundy goes quick. Time 1 minute 22.663. Teddy B going to be about 3/10 back as he completes lap number 1. Nicholas Daly, Cody Hundley, Rod Eskew rounding out your top 5. Hundley and Richard Holt having an absolute haymaker swapping affair in the last race run just a couple hours ago. That race saw Carter Lundy and David Porcelli make contact. Took Lundy square out of the race. Porcelli falling back to a 4th place finish at the line. Take a look at some of the season numbers here on Nicholas Daly, who we're following along with. 13 starts in this car, 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 1.85 incidents per race. Oh, look at this. Good Lord, we're swapping around on cars here. Teddy B having a great season as well here, but let's follow Teddy B here as he makes his way around. We'll get the qualifying ticker back up here. Still Carter Lundy at the top of the board. Lundy goes even faster, 122.445 seconds. Ted Burns, lap number 2. It's better, but not good enough. Richard Holt picking up a spot from Rod Eskew. Mike Prudhomme passing Carl Lemkool at about the mid-pack point as well. Let's pick up David Porcelli. Well, maybe not. Let's see. We'll grab hold of Carter Lundy here as he's finishing up his lap. Let's take a look and see. It looks like just about everybody finishing up their qualification laps here. Brian Labarge, not yet, out on the racetrack. Take a look, see if we can't find Stephen C. Thompson out here. It sounds like I can hear that car still running around. Car number 14 out on the racetrack. He is coming down to complete his second lap. 2 minutes, 45 seconds left to go here in qualifications. And it looks like, yeah, that's going to be it for qualifying. As it is now time for everybody to get gridded up here and on to the starting line for this one. Let's pop up the starting grid for you. This one's going to have Carter Lundy lining up alongside Ted Burns. Well, let's see. The paints aren't updating here, but get that one sorted. Show you the weather conditions here. Partly cloudy skies, 78-degree track or air temperature, 48-degree track temp. That's a little bit odd to have a track temp that low. Humidity going to be 1%. Winds out of the north at 2 miles per hour. Now let's pop the starting grid up here, and well, looks like doesn't want to load up for us. So Carter Lundy lining up alongside Ted Burns on the front row for this one. Row number 2, there they are. We'll have David Porcelli alongside Nicholas Daly. Cody Hundley and Nagisa Yoshikawa on row number 3. Row 4 will have Mike Eckmeyer and Richard Holt. Row number 5, Rod Eskew and Carl Lemkool. Row 6, Mike Prudhomme and Mike Holler. Row number 7, final row of the grid, will have the 11 of Brian Labarge and the 14 of Stephen C. Thompson. 14 cars for 11 laps. Just waiting on David Porcelli to get out onto the grid. He pops in. We are going to be ready to roll racing here in just a moment. Field will get heading out behind the iRacing safety car. Ted Burns, his average finish this season is 1 in these cars. He's having a spectacular year all the way around. A 4.69 A license, 6486 is the absolutely ridiculous I rating for Ted Burns. Taking a look at the broadcast championship standings for the USF 2000 championship, entering tonight's race. Carter Lundy holding on to a 22-point lead over Ted Burns. David Porcelli, Nicholas Daly, Nagisa Yoshikawa rounding out the top 5. It's already 40 points back to David Porcelli in third. This late in the season, it's going to take some help for Porcelli to have a shot. Teddy B might be the only guy to have a shot at Carter Lundy. Reminding you of the overall championship standings. Again, this is heading into tonight's race. Ted Burns with an 8-point lead over Carter Lundy. David Porcelli 44 back. Nicholas Daly and Nagisa Yoshikawa rounding out the top 5. Get the ticker up at the top of the screen so you can follow along with where your favorite is. Leave us a shout in the comments. Another 3,800 I rating race here for the Indy Pro, or excuse me, USF 2000 championship. Barber Motorsports Park, one of the most underappreciated racetracks. Yes, it's beautiful, it's pretty, the museum is great. The racing here is fantastic. If you're a newer fan of the iRacing platform, pick up Barber, please. Pace car gonna head basically straight off the next to last turn. Here at Barber, they're gonna sweep down to the left field under the control of Carter Lundy. Green flag in the air. We're underway here at Barber. Lundy going to get the great dive into turn number 1. Looks like everybody's going to be cleanly through the first couple of corners. Top 3, top 4 now all single file. You almost have to get single file through that turn 2 the way it arcs around. But the draft is going to come into play in a very, very big way here tonight. Do not discount that. As Burns looks up the inside of Lundy, down into the horseshoe. It's one of the first ones that we see. Oh, we got trouble back in the pack. Looks like Mike Holler may have gone around. Mike Prudhomme, Mike Esmear going around as well. Get you a look at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Let's pick up Mike Holler. Oh, man, a little bit of contact there. That was the 8 almost going around of Ekmir. As we go back to the live look, Ted Burns coming around Carter Lundy. He will take the race lead. With the great move into the horseshoe. Oh, one car about 5th place going back. That's Cody Hundley getting off the racetrack. Hundley able to sneak back on, not lose more than a couple of spots. But the number 9 machine going to fall back to the 8th position. Early issues here for some of the contenders. Top 3 starting to break away. That's Burns, Lundy, and Porcelli. See if and where Lundy decides to make the move. That's he in car number 3, running 2nd in line. Having the good battle with David Porcelli a couple of times here thus far tonight. Lundy running a little bit different line there, giving up about 3/10 to Burns through that sequence of corners. Porcelli going to have a run up the outside. Shades of Rudskogen earlier in this season when Carter Lundy was really getting after it on the outside line. Doing a little bit of that here as well. Ted Burns going to set a new fastest lap. Nicholas Daly jumps right ahead, takes that crown away. Daly running in the 4th position, kind of all by himself. Stuck between Porcelli in 3rd and Nagiso Yoshikawa in the 5th position. Daly using the draft to full effect here, though. He's starting to catch in on this top 3, looking to make it a 4-car battle. Trouble on the racetrack for Carl Lempool. Let's see if we can see what happened back here. He may have gone around. Let's take a look. We'll back things up here and see. Well, did he have some help? No, he just lost it all on his own. As we go back to this battle for the race lead. Porcelli almost acting like he doesn't want a piece of this. Lundy sets a new fastest lap of the race, almost 100-mile-per-hour lap average. Taking a look at the overall points championship on this one, Carter Lundy leading entering tonight's race by 41 points over Ted Burns. It's a full 300 back to Nagiso Yoshikawa in the 3rd position. So bit of a 2-horse race here as we are down now working round number 8 of this 12-round championship. Man, this battle for the lead is so good. You just don't want to take your eyes off it. A couple of good fights deeper in the pack. Lundy slides out just a little bit as Porcelli thought about making a move. Daly going to be there as well. Yoshikawa still sitting about 2.9 seconds back. He is not in play as of yet. Brian Labarge, Richard Holt having an issue. Holt out of the 6th position, Labarge in 10th. Both of those cars having a very brief off track. They're going to pop back onto the racing surface and continue on their way. Man, this top 4 battle is good. Let's slide back in the pack a little bit here. Pick up Richard Holt and Cody Hundley. These two fighting for the 6th position, about the same kind of deal. Well, Hundley thought about having the peak to the outside. He's going to look, but no dice, not able to make the move. You just can't do it down the hill through those S's. S's, chicane, not sure which one we would call that. But here comes Carter Lundy. He wants to try the move down the hill. Through the sweepers, just not there, and he gives up a couple of car lengths in the process. Brings David Porcelli right up under his attenuator. Much tighter line through, I believe that's turn 15, 16? For Lundy, he's going to get a great run here down the front stretch, and he's going to have a shot to look inside. Do either one of them lift? Oh, they don't. But now Porcelli's going to be inside. Lundy's got nowhere to go. Porcelli's going to have the help of the draft. But he's not able to get anything Everybody slots back in line after about 3/4 of a lap of really good battling here at the front. Trouble on the racetrack for Brian Labarge. Let's take a look and see what happened here toward the back of the pack. To car number 11. That's the black and white machine. Oh, just a little bit of curb, a little bit of loop-de-loop. Actually, not white. That's chrome on that race car. Labarge able to get it straight back out, and he's good to go. Top four is still pretty much nose to tail here as they'll see the cross flags. We're halfway home. 6 of the 11 laps are now complete here at Barber. The interesting thing here is I don't think you're going to be able to get the pass completed if you're trying it off of the final corner. It's really going to be a bit of a push. Expecting very tight racing just like this in the Indy Pro 2000 race that will run here in the 10 o'clock hour. What it sounds like, by the way, for all of you loyal USF watchers, sounds like when we have the time change in early March, we're going to flip the batting order as well. So both the USF 2000 and Indy Pro 2000 races will both be live here on the National Racing Network. Basically keep the time slots the same, but flip the order. So the Indy Pro 2000 race will run first. That's a little bit closer to 1 hour. That broadcast is that's still going to be one feed to stay right on the air, and we're going to pick right up into the USF race in the 10 o'clock hour. Talking with Carter Lundy in the pre-race about his desire to get track position and hold on to it. I think that's going to be a key for him over these next handful of races if he wants to try to wrap up an overall championship. There's only so much aggression that's worthwhile when you start to think about the really long term of championship battles. So now the question becomes, when does Carter Lundy decide to make the move? It's not going to be here, but he's going to get a good run down the front straightaway. Almost gave up the second position, though. I don't know that that's where he attempts to pass next time. Here he comes. He's got the draft, but he does not use it. Breathes the throttle just a little bit on corner entry to 1. Burge tried to close off the inside lane. Nothing coming there from Lundy into the hairpin that time. He may have to try it with 1 to go. If you're going to set up the move into the hairpin in these cars, it's almost like you have to do it starting at turn 2. You've really got to get tucked in and really be able to use the draft the entire way down that straightaway. Porcelli's starting to get a little antsy. Lundy's going to run a little bit wide. Let's see if he's going to try something here. He's just not going to have the toe to get it done by the start-finish line. 2 to go. Now, here's where you have to start setting up that move to the hairpin. You have to be able to tuck in line and get full advantage of the draft down the straightaway, and it still may not be enough. Because if Ted Burns tries, see, he covers off the inside lane. Lundy going to look outside. It's going to open the door for Porcelli. Was that a mistake by Carter Lundy? Lundy's going to have the preferred line. Little bit of right side romance from Porcelli, trying to give the squeeze to Lundy. And they get all funneled back in line. Realistically, I think Carter Lundy has one more shot at Ted Burns. That may be a side effect of these cars just being ever so slightly underpowered compared to the Indy Pro machines. Even with the draft, there's just not enough toe to make something work. Lundy starting to fishtail a little bit at the back end. Mike Collar coming around Carl Lempool for the 10th position. Lempool may have an issue. Here's Lundy up the inside. Still nothing there. Tight line through 2 by Ted Burns. Just nothing there for Carter Lundy. He's got absolutely nowhere to go. Man, Porcelli is right there. This looks like it will not be enough. Lundy's going to stay right in the toe. It's going to be a tight finish. Oh, Lundy's going to have a look. This time it's going to be outside. Still nothing there. Able to slam the door on Porcelli. Through the final couple of corners. Oh, and it's a bobble from Burns. That forced Lundy on the brakes. Twin checkers go in the air. Ted Burns will pick up the win at Barber. Lundy, Porcelli, drag race to the line. It's going to be Porcelli third, Lundy second. Oh, man, Porcelli way off track at the end of that one. What a race out of the front 4. Carter Lundy tried every trick in his toolbox and just not enough to make a move around race winner Ted Burns. Now that everybody has come across the line, let's take a look at your official race results. Burns, Lundy, Porcelli, Daly, Yoshikawa, the top 5. 6 through 10 tonight going to belong to Richard Holt, Cody Hundley, Rod Eskew, Stephen C. Thompson, and Mike Holler. 11 to 14 tonight, Carl Lempool, Mike Prudhomme, Mike Eckmere, and Brian Labarge. All 14 cars finishing on the lead lap here this evening. And look at that. We've got a full room ready to talk to us. Let's kick things off with our race winner tonight, Mr. Ted Burns. And man, I'll tell you what, Ted, that was a really good run tonight. It was really all about track position is kind of the feeling I got.
Yeah, for sure. It was all about track position and car placement, and being the lead car. If you placed it accordingly and didn't make a mistake or have a big lockup, it was. I wouldn't say it was easy to stay ahead, but it definitely was very difficult to overtake. So Yeah, that was definitely the plan. Was try and get out front early. I knew going into the Charlotte's Web there that I felt really confident on the brakes, and I figured that maybe an opportunity because Carter was going wide, and it stuck on the inside. He left the door open and was just able to drive around it because I knew that if he was out front, he was going to run away with it. He had such amazing pace. That dude's a monster in this car.
Well, yeah, and that's kind of part of the deal is you have to take advantage and pounce when the opportunities arise. It's rare that Carter's going to make a mistake like that, even leaving the door open just enough. Is that just something that you kind of have to be expecting almost? Like, how do you prepare for that? Because you figure the guy's not going to make a mistake. Then you see it, and you just have to instantly react to that.
Yeah, I knew going through like turns 2, 3, I had a lot of front end grip and was able to stay like tucked right up underneath him. So I knew that coming onto that straightaway, I was going to be close and have probably one of the best shots I'd have all race going into Charlotte's Web there. So I figured, this has got to be the lap. Just got to, real light on the brakes, make sure not to lock it up, and just kind of send it in there on the inside, and made it stick. And he played fair on the outside, and that was a difference maker right there.
Well, I tell you what, it was a great run tonight. Congratulations on picking up another win here in the USF 2000, US Open Wheel D, whatever we're supposed to be calling it now. Congratulations on that. And before we let you go, do all those sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yep, got to thank Downforce Racing first and foremost, and got to thank you guys for putting on such an awesome broadcast each week. I love watching it, and for everyone coming out racing this series, especially David Carter. Love racing those guys each week. So thanks to everyone for coming out.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And now it's time to talk to our runner-up here tonight, Mr. Carter Lundy, and just nothing he could do there. Talk us through a little bit. Ted was mentioning the one mistake that you made early, and that was it. And it seemed like it was just going to be a battle of would he make a similar mistake.
Yeah, I really underestimated track position in the USF. I thought the slipstream would have been enough to keep it going, but not to downplay Ted's defense because he put his car in the perfect place every time I was on the attack. But you have the run to turn 1, which is not really long enough, and then the only real overtaking opportunity you have is into the hairpin at like turn 3, and I just couldn't get far enough alongside to make a move into there, and Ted took the inside, and I feel like the inside is where you have to be if you want to make a move here. So he covered it off well, and I just couldn't get by.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I made mention of this during the play-by-play call, was that this car being down 100 horsepower to the Indy Pro really makes a big difference because you just can't get the huge run into the hairpin that we're going to see in the Indy Pro cars. Is that really just the difference maker? Is this car's just a tiny bit underpowered to make the run work?
Well, yeah, in the Indy Pro, I feel like it comes faster the run you get, so you'll close up quicker. But in the USF, at tracks like Road Atlanta and the ones with the long straights like Spa, then I think the USF is a bit more powerful just because of the distance of the straight. I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. But yeah, I just couldn't get close enough, couldn't get enough of a draft, and yeah, it'll definitely be more powerful in the Indy Pro.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on what was a really good run here tonight. And before we let you go, do all those sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yep. Thanks for the putting on the broadcast each week. Again, for the broadcast, I'll be watching it back as usual. And yeah, simracingcenter.com. If anybody watching wants to get setups for iRacing or coaching, then something you should check out. And yeah, thank you again. And I'm gonna go prepare for the Indy Pro.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And now let's talk to our third place finisher here tonight, Mr. David Porcelli. And ultimately, it seemed like the car was pretty good, and the reality was there was just nowhere to go.
Yeah, really, really tough track to pass on. More so in the USF 2000 than I think we'll see in the PM18s. But yeah, just happy to keep it clean and Dick back in third. You know, Carter's really had that car figured out this whole season. And happy I'm moving up the grid in qualifying. Yeah, and just it wasn't a track to make a lot of moves up the field.
How do you play the game at that point then? Because you kind of know if you're starting anywhere outside the front row, you kind of have to hope for a mistake. Is that, I mean, you're a talented guy and you're very quick in the Indy Pro. Is that just frustrating to sit there like you want to pound your hands on the wheel?
It is tough. You have to be able to curtail yourself a little bit. But, you know, I waited for those opportunities, and when they presented themselves, I felt like I gave it a pretty good shot. So, yeah, I got my nose in there a few times and gave him a run for his money.
It was fun to watch. He would make a move, you would kind of swing out and try to pick a spot, and it was a whole lot of fun for us to watch up here. Thank you for putting on a great show. And before we let you go, do all those sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Absolutely, Chris. As always, shout out to Team Watson Racing, Satellite Racing, Racecraft on Indianapolis. Hi to the family. Thanks to National Racing Network for putting on an awesome double broadcast this season, and hope to see you in the booth in about an hour.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here. And, yeah, man, good show all the way around. We'll call it that. This one was fun, and hopefully y'all like the new look, the new feel of things. Kind of a little throwback here to the TNN days of the late 1990s. Let us know your thoughts on the graphics package and all the new stuff that we're bringing along. Next week, I believe we will have Christian Jasper in the booth with me on the call, so that one we're looking forward to in a big way. I'm pretty sure Sebastian Kinder is sleeping in this evening. But, yeah, thanks to everybody who makes these shows happen. They have been a blast. Coming up next week on the National Racing Network, the Tuesday night show is off. We ran the TNT Shock Series this week. They'll be back in 2 weeks. Wednesday night, the Sim Racers Club returns to the NRN airwaves. You do not want to miss that one. NASCAR Next Gen Cup Series cars, a 36 race schedule, and it's going to be long, 3 12-week seasons. Going to be a blast to follow those guys along for the next 36 weeks. Thursday night, we're right back here for the doubleheader, and it is almost time for us to start making the announcements of what new series are coming up here. We're looking forward to those. We hope you are too. For everybody here at NRN that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.